Hi, this is Christy, ChristyMatthewsOnline.com, ChristyJMatthews.com. Hope you're having a great day. Got a question for you. Is procrastination keeping you from living a fulfilling life? Well, procrastination happens to everybody, but there really is a reason for it. I didn't know that there was reasons for procrastination other than maybe being lazy. That's what I always thought. And research has proven that most people think that it's a form of laziness. Well, while researching today's topic, I've learned that that's not the case. In fact, there are a couple of types of procrastination that we need to be aware of. And the first type is called productive procrastination, and the other type is destructive procrastination. Now, productive procrastination is something along the lines when you're creating something, maybe writing a book, putting together a website, a project of some sort. And let's take the book, for example. Some people get writer's block. We've heard about that. And really what's happening is that it takes time for the creative process to work. And when we run into stumbling blocks like that, or writer's block, for instance, what's recommended is to allow our mind to wander, to step back from the project, and allow the creative juices, so to speak, to start working. Have there ever been a time when you've just had to get up and walk away from the creative process? Maybe you're working on a painting, scrapbooking, that website like I'm talking about, writing a blog post, and you just need to get up and walk away, and all of a sudden these thoughts come into your mind, and really that's the creative process that's working. And research has proven that when you allow that creative process to work, that you actually end up with a better product at the end because you're expanding the thought process and adding very productive things to the project. Now, the second type of procrastination is destructive procrastination. And this is the one that really comes back to hurt most of us. Destructive procrastination is when you know you're supposed to get something done, maybe there's a deadline, and you're not getting it done. Now, it's different from productive procrastination because there was no timeline, there was no deadline involved with being in the productive mode. But the destructive mode is when there is a timeline involved and it's just not getting done, and there may be people waiting on you, or you end up feeling bad about yourself because you didn't do something you know that you should be doing. Well, I'm here to tell you that destructive procrastination really is a sign of something much greater. It's a sign of the stress, that underlying stress that you're feeling in your life. Let's take financial stress. Some people, I'll give you a better example. You're on the job and you know you should be doing work, but for some reason you flip over to a solitaire game and you just start playing solitaire. And really what's happening is that in the back of the mind, you're probably thinking about financial stress, things that are going on in your life that are extremely stressful, and taking a break from the task that you're not having fun doing and playing solitaire, for instance, gives you a break from the underlying stress. What it's doing, it's giving you a dopamine hit. Every time you watch a video that makes you laugh, go play a game that's something that's distracting from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, is a sign of stress, underlying stress. So there's a few things that we need to do and a few steps. And if you look again at this stress connection, think of it like emotional eating, where we're just doing it mindlessly. And if we don't get a handle on it, the behavior of this, let's go play solitaire, mindless eating, that type of thing, it becomes a habit. It's a habit loop that will continue on because that short-term time of feeling good, playing solitaire, eating, gives you a dopamine hit. And dopamine is the feel-good receptors in our brain. And so the more we do that, the more of it we're going to get. So we need to be very aware of when we're in a destructive mode of procrastination. So there's 3 ways to manage procrastination. And research has proven this. This isn't just some willy-nilly stuff. First of all is to forgive yourself. Knowing what you know about productive procrastination and destructive procrastination, taking this newfound knowledge, when you go ahead and you forgive yourself, doggone it, I really forgive myself for not working on that spreadsheet or not studying for an exam that you're having tomorrow. The next time the exam comes up, more than likely you will study because you've forgiven yourself in the first place. Ironic. It's weird that way, but research has proven it. Second is to ask yourself what the future you would do. And this is why vision boards work very well. Vision boards, if you're not aware of what those are, is to capture a lifestyle or a life outcome that you'd like to have at some time in the future. It may be a home, it might be a mega vacation, it might be a large family. Whatever the case is, when it goes in the vision board, something that you can see that's in your visual field all the time, it helps you think about where you want to be in the future. And so the same thing is what would the future self of you do given the circumstance that you're facing? Oftentimes, research has proven that you will snap out of procrastination. Thirdly, you need a mind disruptor. Now, all 3 of these work hand in hand now. The mind disruptor is something like the 5-second rule. I've talked about this in other videos, and it might seem a little woo-woo, but research has proven that when you disrupt your brain, in fact, let me back up a little bit. We make decisions in 5-second intervals. If we all day long throughout our life, decisions are made in such a small amount of time. And this is why the 5-second rule works very well. And what you do, the disruptor is when you feel procrastination coming on, you say to yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Just do it. This is why Nike's "Just Do It" slogan is so powerful, because it's just go do it. Do it now. Get up, get off your butt, and do it now. Here's one thing that I know you can relate to, and I can too. And I have used 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to break a habit, and I use it for many habits now. The biggest habit that a lot of us can relate to is hitting that snooze button in the morning. The reason why we do that is because there's an underlying stress of something we don't want to face during the day. See, nobody feels like just jumping up and getting out of bed. And when something doesn't feel good, we're not getting that dopamine hit, we're not going to go to it. So what we have to do is train our brain to get up, make the disruptor happen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, turn off the alarm, jump up out of bed, and just get things done. There are many chemical processes that happen when you do the mind disrupting activity. And this will apply to anything. But why I say the snooze button in the morning is because that is one very difficult thing to do for most people. And if you can overcome not hitting the snooze button, it will give you some reassurance that there is nothing else that you can't overcome. Because when you don't want to face your day and you find a way to be able to go and face the day regardless of what's happening, that is very rewarding and very, very powerful. And I'll do a future video down the road here about what happens when we rise in the morning. It's very interesting. So I want to have you give this a try. And if you haven't seen this book, The 5-Second Rule, this is very cool because, you know, there's a lot of science out there of procrastination, and it can get very boring and dry, and just you gloss over it. Oh my gosh. What I like about this is that the research is here and it's put in very simple, easy to understand, just, you know, blunt to the point information. And this thing is just chock full of stuff. And what I shared with you today did come out of this book. And I highly recommend that you go out and get a copy of it if you haven't read it already. So folks, I hope you got value from today's video. Please put these disruptors into practice. Remember that there are 2 types of procrastination. Welcome the productive one. Don't welcome the destructive one. Work on correcting that behavior, because this is all behavior. So again, if you got value from today's video, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment. And if I can ever be of service to you in any other way, please shoot me a message. Visit my websites. There's a tremendous amount of information there, free resources that might help you out. And so until next time, folks, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.